0.
Oh, okay, good.
All right. Well, rest assured, ladies and gentlemen, we have tracked him down. The meeting with the sheriffs have been canceled. Have no fear. The sheriff they have not shot the sheriff. They have not shot the deputy. The sheriff's hats are still firmly ensconced on their scalp. But to give us an update on this battle over at Mack's Public House, Staten Island's equivalent of Waco and the Branch Davidians, we bring you Staten Island's own David Koresh, John A. Tobacco II. John,
come on for a minute?
John, what's going on there? What happened?
Hey, I'm in Mack's Pub. We're waiting for the attorneys to get here, but Dan's here.
Dan, how are you?
Dan, he'll give you a little update on what exactly happened today.
All right, and he's mic'd, right?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Okay, great. So, Dan, first of all, it's good to talk with you. Everywhere I've gone in the last 8 days, all people have been asking me is, hey, I know you're from Staten Island. Do you know Danny Presti? Because that guy is awesome. Now that I've talked to you, now I can actually say I do know you.
Yes, it's great to officially meet you.
Yeah. So, Dan, first let me ask you about what some critics are saying. Even traditionally conservative people who want businesses reopened, they're saying, look, you know, we may not agree with the law here, but the law is the law and you have to follow the rules. What do you say to that criticism, to people that may say that?
Well, first, the first thing I always say is we've broken no laws. So these are mandates issued by a governor who has no authority to actually make any of these things. Second is, I'm going to say 100% of small businesses would be okay with closing as long as we were compensated with something or assisted it somehow. Because you cannot strip people's livelihoods and just take everything away for especially this long. Even a short amount of time would have been okay. But for this long, you cannot just take, and not give anything or offer assistance.
Now, I was talking with Corey Kilgannon from the New York Times, who wrote that article all about the protest this morning. And one of the things that I told him is that I think part of the reason so many Staten Islanders, and it's people beyond Staten Island, I know people that came from Jersey and Long Island to be at that rally on Wednesday night. Part of the reason that this is sticking in people's craw so much is that it's incredibly inconsistent. As your attorney, Lou Geralmino, has pointed out, the fact that you could go around the corner from you and enjoy an indoor meal in a yellow zone, it makes no sense, and it's incredibly inconsistent, and it really shows how lacking in scientific basis these rules are.
Yeah, there's no science behind anything that they've been doing, because even some of our local politicians, I know Borelli and some of the other guys, they are pushing for the numbers on all of these and saying, if we have all the contact tracing, we need to see where these cases are coming from. And there's not even an answer that they're giving because it's not there. None of these businesses are spreading any of this. And just like you said, there's complete inconsistencies with everything. Even after we left the rally around 9 o'clock at night, we went, took a 2-minute drive, might even be less than 2 minutes, and we went inside and had something to eat and something to drink, and it was perfectly legal. Even with the inconsistencies about at the beginning of the pandemic, when Staten Island had 0 cases anywhere, met every single benchmark, and Cuomo got on and said Staten Island will stay closed. It won't be treated differently than the rest of New York City. It's part of New York City. So Staten Island will remain closed, even though there's hot spots in Brooklyn and Queens and the Bronx. Now, all of a sudden, Staten Island's being singled out. And there's a line drawn, and no one even knows why this line was drawn there. So, like you said, the inconsistencies don't make any sense. And frankly, the science just isn't there to back up anything that they're saying anyway.
Do you believe that the fact that the South Shore of Staten Island was shut down while the North Shore was allowed to remain open is in some way political retribution on the part of Governor Cuomo because the South Shore has tended to vote so overwhelmingly conservative and Republican?
You know what? You would like to think that that's not the case, but it's so obvious at this point that anyone who says other than that, it doesn't, again, why would a line be drawn there when these guys know everybody on Staten Island has a car and you can just move from one end to the other? If they're literally drawn a line to kill small businesses in that, on the South Shore of Staten Island.
Right. It's like East Germany, Checkpoint Charlie. One side business is allowed to flourish, another side it's a communist ghost town. Finally, Danny, before we run out of time for the hour, give us the game plan for what's going on there today and through the weekend. We saw Tuesday you were arrested. Wednesday that there was this big rally with 1,500 people. Yesterday people showed up even though there was no organized rally just to show their support for you. What's going on there today and for the next 48 hours?
Next 48 hours, we have some meetings set with some top officials of the city. Keith and I did give a hard deadline, and we do have certain demands that we're going to make. Demands, not meaning, like we're going to go and do something really bad. The demands that we have are really, we need to reopen the city, and you need to assist us, and you need to help us. And the time is now. We're not giving them a week. We're not giving them 2 weeks. We're not even giving them a few days. The time is now. And if they don't meet that, my buddies over here, Scott and John there, we're going to brainstorm and we're going to come up with something. And I can't tell everything that's happening right now, but I promise you to stay tuned, and it will be entertaining.
Now, John gave a shout out yesterday on this show to Assemblyman Mike Cusick, who's actually the chairman of the Democratic Party on Staten Island, and John indicated that Assemblyman Cusick has been pretty helpful as well. Has that been your experience?
Absolutely.
So it's Democrats and Republicans in this community working together to get Staten Island reopened.
Yes, and this is exactly what has to happen, because I say all the time, people are, thanking myself and Keith, and we understand what we're doing, but I keep telling everybody that this isn't a one or a two-man job, that it's everybody. It's everybody in the community that offers us assistance. It's all of our local politicians. It's everybody who's been here every day, even just showing any sign of support. The only way that we break loose from all of this is together.
All right, Danny.
Frankie, this is Staten Island small business right here. This is where Staten Island small business is ahead.
I
got
nervous, John. I thought you were gonna tell me that was the sheriff, and I certainly didn't want to visit you in prison for a capital offense. All right, I am going to step aside and let this show be placed back in the hands of its rightful owner, John Tabacco. Stay tuned. John Tabacco live from Max Public House, continuing with Stop the Steal TV and Liquid Lunch here on Biz TV. I'm Frank Morano. It's been a real pleasure. You want to stay in touch? Follow me on Twitter @FrankMorano. I'll see you on the radio.